everyone. Welcome back to Fast Track Money Weekly YouTube live session.
Hi, everyone. Nice to have you back.
We need to sync better next time. So for those of you who are here for the first time, so I'm Yasi behind Fast Track Podcast. So it's a platform to help you launch your life on a fast track. We talk about money, we talk about entrepreneurship, we talk about career. And then today we are having our usual weekly YouTube live session with Financial Imagineer. So Matthias here. Financial Imagineer is a platform and a blog where he shares his personal experiences and thoughts on the topics of personal finance and help you to imagineer your life. Is it?
Thank you. Yes, and Dan already asked me, where is my green hoodie? It's in the laundry finally. After 3 weeks of uninterrupted wearing that, I decided it's time for it to go to the laundry.
Yeah.
I may have to buy a second one.
And if you also want this green hoodie, that you can place the order on his website.
Oh, yes. Please feel free, then. You can go to my website. I have a merchandise shop where you can order unlimited green hoodies for yourself.
Yeah. Okay, let's then dive into today's topics. Today's topic is about how millionaires are made $10 at a time.
Mm-hmm.
And my first question to you is, when you say $10 at a time, $10 to some people might think like, oh, how can $10 make a millionaire? It's such a big difference. What would you say to that?
Well, one thing is always how to say that the saying is if you are not treasuring the little money or the cent or the small amounts, you're not worthy of the big amounts. Some people also say, before you manage $1,000, manage 100. Before you manage 100,000, manage 1,000 or 10,000. Before you manage $1 million, you have to know how to manage 100,000. So, in a way, having a small and steady amount to contribute to becoming a millionaire is how 80% of all the millionaires out here are made, in fact. So there's research about that. The other parts are usually inheritance or marriages. And the last little tiny part, we will get to that probably later, is lottery and get rich quick things. And that's why I think the 80% speak for themselves. It's like the most feasible way to get wealthy, if that is something that you are interested in.
How would you say the split between get wealthy quick, like lottery winners, versus get wealthy slowly? What would you think of the percentage split?
I mean, if somebody comes and tells you, hey, Yase, I can tell you how you get rich slowly.
Not interested.
Not interested, right? But yeah, actually, one of the most famous personal finance blogs out there is called Get Rich Slowly by J.D. Roth. And he's very successful because that's what he did. He got rich slowly, but he got rich. And if you see a blog called Get Rich Quickly or I Help You to Be Millionaire Tomorrow, you will be afraid it's a scam, I would say. So probably you will be interested to see what whoever would come up with that thing has to offer, but most likely it's a scam.
Yeah, but unfortunately, many people fall into this scam. That's why today we talk about why millionaires make $10 at a time.
Mm-hmm, exactly.
So many people also associate with like a small money as not important because like $10 difference are why bother, or 1,000 difference, yes, that makes a big difference. How do you see that, the value of $10 and value of $1,000?
Exactly like I said before. So you have to know that each little contribution that goes towards your bigger goal and target in life is helpful. And if you manage to change certain little habits in your money life, and if you manage to change certain little spending habits or saving habits, and you devote them all towards your bigger goal, then it's like making baby steps. One step at a time, you will get there. And you will get better at it. It's not like if you start with $10, a lot of people, like you just say, they're like, come on, shut up. You don't need to tell me how to get rich $10 at a time. But that's actually how you have to get started.
So it's really to use the small value to cultivate a habit. Then,
Yes.
yeah.
And
And I
that
want
could be like your Starbucks. You know, if you go to Starbucks 2 times a day, that's maybe $10. Then maybe the $10 is 20 in 2 days. It's 50 in a week. It's 200 in a month. And then you can calculate if you save 200 every month over a year, it's 2,400. Then you add some compounding to it, say 8 to 10%. You spread it over 10 years, and boom, you can buy a house.
Yeah, I like the compounding part because
Yeah.
many look at, oh, it's a $1 difference, a $10 difference, why bother, right? It's just like a small amount of money. But if you add the compounds to it, meaning you save this and you invest this, and over like let's say 20 years, it's going to be a big amount.
Correct. Yeah.
I remember during my interview with the Millennial Money Woman, Fiona, the episode will come out in March 8th or 9th. Yeah, in early March. So she talked about if you save $13.66 per day, you could literally become a millionaire. You just need to do it every single day consistently for 10, 15, or 20 years and invest in the ETF. It's just that simple, even though it's
1366. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's nothing, right? I mean, some people go to have lunch for more than that every day. If you just cook a little bit yourself, or if you delay some bigger purchases, eventually you can get there very fast.
And another topic when we talk about like saving small money, one association is like being frugal.
Yes.
Yeah. So how do you see being frugal is something perceived like a negative? You don't enjoy your life, you don't spend money on nice things, or being frugal is something financial responsible. Like where is the difference?
I mean, frugal can be super frugal, excessively frugal, or extremist frugal, or you can be a little bit frugal, or you can also call it smart about money. I mean, if you can buy toilet paper, which you don't have to store for, actually it doesn't have an expiry date, you can buy it in bulk, and you can buy it when it's on a special offer in the supermarkets, then you should go big time and buy toilet papers, right? It's maybe the coronavirus example here, but if people don't think or plan about it and then go to buy the toilet paper at full price in a supermarket, they easily spend twice the money. And they think, yeah, I don't want to spend my mental capacity to calculate for when and how to buy it. Then I think it's a lost opportunity. What I'm saying here is you still can get almost everything you want in life in one form or another by saving a little bit money here and there. So frugal is not like black or white. It comes in gray zones, and you can do some variation.
Yeah. Initially, I was not very, welcoming the word frugal, because in my mind, it's always associated with being like extreme frugal. But then I learned that, yeah, like you said, it's a gray zone. So being frugal is do not waste money and be smart with money.
Yes.
You can still maintain your quality of life, buy the things you like, food, and so on. And then the rainmaker sent emoji. I don't understand why.
Must be something that you said.
There's a time delay, probably something you said. And then, so I really embrace this. Being frugal does not mean being stingy or you do enjoy life, but instead of spending 200 Swiss franc on your internet connection, why not spend like 100 with the same quality, same speed? Why not, right? You just need to switch the provider.
It doesn't smell. It doesn't do any noise. There's not even a branding you can show around. Nobody knows what kind of internet company you use.
That's literally my favorite question in Switzerland, because I noticed there are some service providers, they just simply charge way more than the other service providers. Literally same thing or even slower internet. So why not change it? It's like there's no for me it does not make sense.
Correct. So some things you don't even feel, you change it to the cheaper one. So
yeah. So okay. We have Roxy here.
Hi, Roxanne.
Welcome back. And next question is about the tax. So another common misunderstanding about saving tax is like, oh, just a small percentage of your income, just a small percentage of something. Is it worth looking into it?
Your question is it worth looking into your taxes? Definitely.
Of course, it's a yes question, but I know there's people who look more into it versus people who it's anyways the tax you pay.
I mean, the great thing about taxes is you first and foremost, it happens every year. All of us every year have to fill out a tax declaration, and it could be that if you just take the time to understand a little bit more about tax declarations for once, you can be using that knowledge for the next 10, 20, 30 years or more. Yep. So that's number one. So the time effort that you spend on going down and try to understand what's going on there versus the potential returns you can reap from that is tremendous. Also, as your income, wealth, and money situation keeps growing, you will be more and more actually taxed on everything. So if you learn it early, not only will you get to your goals faster, but later you can protect what you have earned and saved and invested even more. So, I mean, definitely do look into your taxes. And well, I leave it at just you would be surprised how much you can be better off if you do so. Because if you don't do it, you're going to pay standard rates. And a lot of people, if it comes to something expensive, they like to go bargaining and like to see if they can get a little bit cheaper here and there. Why don't you do it with one of the probably largest once per year payments and see how you can reduce it somewhat? And for each and every country, there are different things you can do. And it's simply a waste of not doing that, because if you don't do it, there's a lot of other people who do it, and then you actually lose out.
Yeah.
It's not like it were cheating if you try to find ways to reduce your tax. It's understanding the tax code and being smart about it. I think that's also like some people think it's cheating to reduce your taxes.
It's funny. I think from the book, like the Millionaire Next Door, is like the tax officers, they think you are cheating when you try to reduce taxes.
Yes.
But there's no way that saying reduce your tax legally is illegal, right?
Correct. I mean, some people forget stuff. It goes to that, right? If you forget to make your deductions, if you have dependents, or if you have some renovations in the house, or if you had occurred like larger health expenses, then that's your problem. And if you forget it once, most likely you will not care about it the next times.
Yeah. Yes.
And that's all. That money that you pay there is gone forever. You cannot get it back. And if you look at money as in your time, it's the same thing. Your time never recurs. So you waste your life energy on that.
Or you look at it in future value.
Correct, yeah. And that's even more, right? Then the compounding comes, you put it in the table and see what it would be worth in 20, 30 years. You will get sick if you look at it.
I think that's why, like, commonly people have read the news on the internet that, most of the wealthy people, for example, Donald Trump or some other people, their income tax is actually much lower than the rest of the population.
Yes. And I mean, if we talk about US Republicans, the biggest surprise I've ever saw was Mitt Romney. I don't know if you remember Mitt Romney. He was a presidential candidate for the US before. I think he had probably the single largest 401k that I have ever seen. The 401k is like the retirement saving fund. And I believe I saw something like 100 million or more in there, which by all the money he ever earned would not be possible. But then, of course, he explained it. He had an explanation for it. And what he did is he put his private equity deals into the 401k. And then he avoided to be taxed on capital gains, which is a very smart move. And there's no rule that says you cannot do that.
Yeah, and there's
Right?
no rule says that it's illegal. Everything
Exactly.
it's illegal. Let's just put everything we talk about here. I guess we have to do it legally. And then in Switzerland, I know there's a Pillar 3A similar to the US
Yes.
system. You also can save tax money, right?
Exactly. So the Pillar 3A is a great tool for people that are salaried employees, and also for entrepreneurs. You have even a higher deduction ability there. And it's actually a saving scheme by the government that wants to encourage people to save more. And by putting away, I think, 6,800 per year, most people can easily save more than 1,000 in taxes. And if your plan is to save this for your retirement anyways, why not do it in a tax incentivized way?
Yeah, indeed. Similar to the Singapore's which one? SRS?
Correct. The SRS is the supplementary retirement scheme in Singapore, and similar to that. The CPF is the one that government does. So yeah, the SRS.
Yeah,
exactly.
Also CPF when you top up, and also.
And then you can also say the 6,800 divided by 300 something. That's maybe another $20 per day, right?
Yeah.
So it's another like $10 per time kind of thing. That small amounts actually build up.
Yeah. And also in your blog articles, you wrote about how you bake your own bread, how you shave your own hair.
Oh yeah, well, that goes into, maybe some people, they think this is a little bit too much, but I figured even for like my blog post about hair cutting, I used to cut my hair in Taiwan and Singapore, in Taiwan more even than in Singapore. But in Taiwan, there's just it's very affordable, and the hair cutter is available, and you just go there and have it done, and after like 10 minutes, you're out with the perfect haircut. And the other thing is proximity and convenience. For me in Taiwan, from our home there, it's just the elevator ride to the hair cutter. And whenever I was in Singapore and Switzerland, it got more inconvenient. You have to commute somewhere, and maybe that's my personal situation in that sense. And then in Switzerland, particularly, sometimes the hair cutter is not available when you are, and you have to wait. And with the commute, waiting for your turn, commuting back, at the end, you probably spend more than an hour, maybe 1.5 to 2 hours, simply to get your hair cut. And then you think about, you still have to pay for that. So if I buy a machine to do it myself, probably the first 4 to 5 times it will not look so perfect. Yes, it is not perfect. Yes, so yeah, you can cut it shorter anytime, right? So you can get bald if you want to. But luckily, I never came to that point. And you get better every time you try. So nowadays, if I feel it's too long, I simply go to the bathroom, and after like 5 minutes, I'm trimmed.
Dan said he go to the barber shop.
Yes. Good. Yeah.
We're speechless. We just talk about cutting your own hair at home, and then I also cut my own hair. I mean, it's very complicated to cut your own hair with your own hair. I cut my husband's hair, but it's easy. And he's happy. It's the same, from almost the same as you will get it cut from a hair salon.
Mm-hmm. Well, and the other thing is baking your bread, or all these other little things. I mean, you don't have, the first time you make a bread, maybe it will be a 3-hour exercise, but I tend to believe that if you do it again and again and again, each time you do it, you will get better, you will get faster. And for me now, making a bread, it's maybe 10 to 15 minutes of my time, and I have perfect fresh bread.
Yeah.
Which
actually, I use the recipe. I always use the recipe that you posted on your
website. Okay.
The financial imaginary bread recipe.
Oh yeah. Please check out my blog post on that. You have a downloadable PDF, and I try to keep it like in 4 simple steps, the recipe.
Yeah.
So
It's literally takes me 15 minutes max to do it because you
Yeah.
just need to put like three ingredients together.
It's yeast, maybe
Water.
for four. Yeah, the salt, flour, water,
Okay,
and
yeah,
yeast.
four
Mix it in the right
ratio, and then
ratio.
you
I
put
have a machine
overnight.
to mix it, let it rest overnight, and the morning you preheat your oven. You get the thing over, put it in, and then like half an hour, 40 minutes later, there you go.
That is a really great recipe, by the way. I just now I stick to that recipe because
Cool.
it's so much better when you have fresh bread coming out of the
It's a
oven.
different feel, right? And
Yeah, it tastes also different. It's much
yes,
better.
it's
And
not
then I think
industrialized.
it's yeah, I think it costs like a less than one franken and also 15 minutes time. It's
Yeah.
also tastes better. So I now enjoy it.
Do you make home delivery for the bread? Oh, okay. There would be my problem with the time, right? So where do you live then?
I think he
You
lives like
can come to pick it up at my home if you want to.
yeah. We could talk this topic next time or some other time about the
Hmm.
time, your life energy, right? Because it
Yes,
revolves around time and also money. I guess it is not a common
by
concept.
drone. Oh yeah. Drone delivery, that would be great. Yeah, so yeah, sorry, Yas, I was fascinated by the comments. It's yeah, to
The
have a
life
concept
energy,
about
I
life
think we
energy,
need to
time, and money. Yeah.
mention it once for an episode. It's not a common concept that people see it, right? Like this, they don't see like time, the value of the time
Hmm.
literally linked to the value of the money you earn from doing something from then we call it life energy. So I guess that's a very crucial concept to understand why
Yeah,
so much money matters and why so much time also matters to you as a
absolutely.
person.
Yeah. Good. I think another question is like, why is it $10 a time and not an overnight success or get rich quick scheme? And I believe there a lot of people, they want to get rich quick. So you have all the lottery ticket buyers, and they try to chase this dream of making it happen overnight. And as a matter of fact, that's also not something I just make up here. People who really get rich overnight most likely never stay rich after a while. So there's a whole bunch of articles in the internet of people who won the lottery and then they got depressed. They got the wrong friends. They married the wrong girl, or sorry, if it's not sexist, right? The other way around. Married the wrong person. Try to spend all the money into some things that make no sense. You buy your Lamborghini, your expensive condo, and at the end you have nothing left. And then you figure out you have to actually liquidate everything that you just make up here. And there is very rarely lottery winners or get rich quick people. They will stay rich, and that's why I think getting rich $10 at a time also builds character. And like I said at the beginning, if you manage to handle smaller amounts of money, you will get better also as the amounts of money get bigger, right?
Yeah, but I want to follow up on this story that people who get rich
Hmm.
overnight cannot hold on to their wealth. What are the reasons?
I think the reasons is they never had so much money in the first place before, and probably when they see $1 million in the bank account, they will think of all the nice things that they associated with it. So if you suddenly have all that money and you never actually managed to save some money or invest some money before, then of course you go for the Ferrari. Of course you go for the expensive things, which are most likely not assets and not likely helping you to maintain your wealth. But in most cases, these things that these people buy and spend money on are things that depreciate and will actually help to deplete these assets even faster. That's most often the main reason.
So it's because they do not understand the money. They don't have the correct money mindset. That's why when they get rich overnight, they do not have knowledge to master
I believe it's maybe they heard some people or they listen to some people. Some people try to tell them, but if you, I think one thing is also if you maybe you remember the first time, Yase, when you earned money at the stock exchange. You bet on the right stock and your stock goes up a lot. How does it feel? It feels so good, and in return you probably feel superior or smart, and you feel like you know some things other people don't know, and therefore why would you probably listen to other people, or why would you want to consider other people's opinions on how to manage it and how to do it differently? And very often these kind of gambling mindsets, they will continue to gamble and play even larger sums until they lose it all. That's another thing, gambling.
Yeah.
Question here, what about losing it over the stocks? Well, it hurts. I lost money with stocks before, and it's a good lesson to be learned. And it usually happens when you are most confident about it, because you believe in what you have decided before. And for me, it happened very badly in 2000, 2001. There was the new economy crash. Back then, it didn't matter what kind of stock you bought, as long as it had some .com or something in the back. It was actually going higher and higher every day for more than a year. And it seemed so simple. It was like you can print your own money, until the tide turned and the thing went down. And then you feel, oh, yeah, maybe I'm not that smart, right?
It's not you that is smart, it's the market that is smart.
Yeah, correct. But I think a lot of people, when they get rich quick and they didn't build it step by step, they will maybe mistake it. Getting rich means I was smart to buy that lottery ticket instead of I was lucky.
Yeah.
I guess that's the point there.
I think the essential is really to learn the personal finance, to have the key money skills, no matter how old you are, no matter poor or rich. It's just important life skills to have to learn it.
Yeah, correct. I mean, some people think it's boring, right? But then if you manage these parts and one day you inherit something or you win the lottery or whatever, believe me, you will be so happy you learned these lessons maybe with smaller money before than getting exposed to the potential mistakes with the big amounts of money at the right on, right? Some people, they never manage bigger amounts of money. Suddenly they get a big inheritance, or I don't know, some big money comes their way, and very often they are not ready, or they maybe try to make the best of it, or they are like too risk averse to invest it, or they are scared of losing it. And then that's why we also say, like in wealth management, the saying is like wealth doesn't last over 3 generations. So the first generation builds the money, the second one manages to maintain it, and the third generation usually spends it away.
Yeah.
And
this story reminds me of recently I heard it from a friend in Switzerland. The family had some piece of land, and then they sold the land, and then the guy used the money, bought a car, brand new car. So it's using appreciating asset exchange for depreciating asset.
Correct, yeah, correct.
Talking previous sessions.
Unfortunately, yeah. And and then taxes go up, right, for the people, depending what you do. If you buy the sports car, you have higher road taxes, you have higher maintenance costs, and so you actually have to pay for your assets driving around the road instead of keeping your land. Or the other thing somebody like this could do is using the land to build a rental property complex or something, and then it will be there, and then the same thing comes again. He will get rent every month and keep the asset, and there the rent, look at it like the $10 at a time. He will get rent every month. It's boring, but hey, he keeps the asset. He can pledge the asset. He can borrow against it. Plus, he gets wealthier every month by collecting rent of other people.
Yeah.
Same concept, right?
Yes. Also, talking about side hustle, before you mentioned, like a lot of side hustles start with a few dollars. At the beginning, you put in the work, there's no return. But if you keep doing it, it's more like a snowball effect.
Correct, yeah.
$10 at a time. at a certain point, you will be more if you keep doing it.
Correct. Yeah. So congrats, Fast Track podcast for 100 subscribers on YouTube.
Yes,
Now,
we need to have
put this around. Like if you do a YouTube show and you have 100 viewers, and imagine there is an ad that pays you 10 cents at the beginning of the video. If 100 people look at it, you get 10 cents. Well, then you get $1. 100. Oh no, sorry, more. You get maybe $10 or one. Anyway, you get small amounts. And now imagine if you don't have just 100 followers, imagine you have 20,000, 50,000 followers or whatever. You have unlimited upside, but you may still be doing the same thing in the back,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. And,
Rainmaker says, ooh.
And the next week, we are going to talk about side hustles. Even we have a full-time job, but does not prevent us from creating side hustles what you enjoy doing. Maybe in the future, your side hustles turn into your main hustle.
Correct. Yeah. I mean, side hustles, it's usually things people do when they get home from work and they want to explore new things, different things. Maybe they want to explore how to monetize their passion. And if you manage that well, and if you do it right, it could turn out that later you can replace your job.
Yeah.
And so anything is possible there.
Yeah. I think we have a lot to talk about next week about side hustles. It can get very creative and very looking forward to that. It can be really creative. Just let the audience know that. Sometimes you don't even have to do anything. You just do one thing, like one setup or register something. Then you got a side hustle. And you don't need to have one side hustle. You can have 10 side hustles.
Oh yes. I know people. One of my friends, he has 18 different setups that he is controlling at the moment, and it's amazing, right? Side hustle sounds like a lot. Hustle, the word hustle for me, it sounds like a lot of heavy-duty work and a lot of effort. But maybe I call it passion income, or like try to build a system for yourself, and yeah. So that will be next week.
Yep. And then before letting you go, I have to announce that we have officially launched the Fast Track Money course. So you can already find it on fasttrack.live/money course. And you can also find the link, you should find the link in the description below. So of course, this course is to teach you all about like how to save money, how to make more money, and how to invest and then to build a solid financial future. All the key skills and all the tips and all the things you have accumulated over the years and using on yourself that you are teaching the students through this course. So I think everybody should join this course. If you have not learned money skills in life, it's not the same as the finance. It's not the same as the investing. It's a skill that you need to have.
It's not so much about numbers, I would say. It's more about stories, about lessons learned, and about how to. My aim for the course, I think our aim, Yasser, right, is like to break down the lessons we both kind of try to live in our everyday's life and convey them for our students. Like I have met more than 200 wealthy individuals in my private banking career. I have heard all their stories, and the thing that I have seen and experienced there is distilled in what I have done later in my life. And now I think that will be part of this course as well.
Yeah. And what I like about it is from the beginning to the end, not directly jump into like investing. You have to look into your earnings, how you spend your money, how you save your money, and then we start investing. Not a typical investing course, but also like a money course, money skill course. Yeah. Then let's close it for the session of today. Thank you guys who is here with us live, and also thank you who is here when you watch the replay. And we hope you enjoyed this session. And next week we talk about side hustles. It's going to be very exciting. 7 p.m. Next Wednesday.
7 p.m. next Wednesday. Yep, that's 25th of February.
Okay, bye-bye.
Bye, guys.